chicken. Ay, 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 ay.
Hello, welcome back to another Lightning Collection review. Today we have got the Zord Ascension Project Astro Megazord from the Power Rangers Lightning Collection by Hasbro. This has just dropped on the Hasbro Pulse, so anybody that has pre-ordered should have or should be getting theirs today. If not, probably Monday. Of course, if you are keeping up to date, you'll know how expensive this item is, so obviously we're expecting something big here today, and hopefully that will meet the expectations for us. I have taken this out of the box today so I can make sure that everything is there. So this is an empty box, but I will show you it anyway because it is really, really nice. You can see that the detail and the effort been put into this box, as the other Zord Ascension project boxes have been the same. It is really nice to have a look at. So looking at the box, it does come in a sleeve, and it's got our Zord Ascension project logo at the top. It's telling us what we're getting, and I believe this bottom bit here is like season, an episode that it should be in. So it should be the first appearance. I could be completely wrong about that, and it could just be coincidence, but that's what I believe it to be, and if I'm wrong, I apologise, let me know in the comments below. But it's telling us we're getting a plastic-free packaging. It's for 15 plus, so I wouldn't allow your kids to play with this unless you want a very expensive breakage. And then we've got sort of a blueprint look on our sleeve with the Astro Megazord underneath. On the back of the sleeve, it's telling us that it's for Power Rangers in Space with a nice little logo and a Zord Ascension project logo at the top. It's telling us that we're getting a 37 centimeters or 14.5 inch figure with all our legal stuff at the bottom, and then just the contents of the box down the side. So it's telling us that we should get 3 pairs of hands in total, a shield, his gun, which forms part of the ship, and a nice sword, as well as our 5 characters here. Our Astro Megazord, another ship that forms part of his head, and it's just showing some little cockpits that we're getting inside there, which I will show you later. And here is the front of the box without the sleeves, looking very, very nice. On the top we do have a barcode which takes us to the website. On this side it's just showing us our figure inside. On the other side we do have some artwork with the Power Rangers Lightning Collection logo. And on the back is just nice shiny blue with the Zord Ascension project. And a little look inside the box, so we've got our Megazord fighting Eclipso and a really, really nice comic book style artwork. And then as a cover that just goes over the inside of the packaging, we've got a really nice little detailed cockpit. Okay, having a look at the box, you'll have to excuse my camera angle, but I literally can't fit it all in if I just use the normal one, so I'm having to use a wider focus thing here. So it comes with our ship or Megazord and a smaller ship, sword with a hand, which does obviously come part, but I've put that on there. It does come with 2 of these hands, 2 of these hands. This forms part of the gun on the ship, and you can use it by holding it. It'll all make sense when I put it all together, don't worry. And then it comes with these 2 side pieces, which can also form part of the gun. And then this goes on the belly. So I'll put it all together so it makes a little bit more sense. So the shield just goes under the bottom there, and then we can put these back together. And then this is just to make your ship complete. This is the gun, so we have a little fold out bit here, so we can just push down that, brings out the weapon on there. And that just fits underneath using the handle. It goes in the first one apparently, according to the instructions anyway. So that sits on there. And then this is all on a ratchet. So we'll pull this open, and you can see just 2 holes at the back at the top there. And our little ship just goes in there. So it slots in like that. And then we can just close that up like so, which is a little bit tight. So you have to make sure that the head's all in properly. So it does go in better than that, but I'm going to be changing it in a sec anyway. And that's our complete ship, apart from these, which go on the side. And this just pops in here, so we can stick one in there. That one goes in the other side. And there's our ship all together. And it does also come with our figures. So here they are all doing the Let's Rocket pose, calling for their ship. Pink one. black one. And finally our blue one. So taking a look at it in this mode, that does close up better. I don't know what if I've put the head on the wonk or something, but yeah, it should sit like that. And usually it does. But you can tell that the chrome on it is very, very nice indeed. So I'm very happy with that. We've got two guns at the top which do move, so you have to move them out to change them over, which I will do shortly. It's got a nice little red chrome bit on the top with lots and lots of detail in there. Pretty much the whole ship has got some sort of detail on it. It's really, really nice. See the way it's all sitting together, looks very nice. And underneath, we also have some wheels, so they all actually move, so you can push it along the floor. When we open this up at the front, it's got our ship inside, so we can leave it like that if you want to, showing off part of the inside of it. And then inside we just have the cockpit, which is very, very basic and not a whole lot in there. Obviously I wouldn't expect anything more from figures that size, but it's pretty cool. Then this is our little ship. It's got its nice little windows at the front. This obviously forms part of the helmet, so this is the bit that attaches in, but they've even detailed the back of that, which is looking really nice. They've put the logo on the side there. And then when we open him up, it does just show us part of the face there. So when we do the helmet, that pops in like so, and then attaches on. So there we go. Just having a little quick look around on the turntable, you can see it's got chrome pretty much all the way out. So this is used on a lot of the joints and stuff of the ship. There is detail put into pretty much everywhere you look on this figure. They've used nice blues, silvers, and the red chrome on the top really pops nicely in the little hints of red that they've used throughout the ship. I will now put him into his fighting mode or battle mode. Alright, so now I've transformed him, which doesn't actually take too long. I wanted to do it in a time-lapse mode just in case there was some bits that I struggled with. I didn't want you to have to sit there and watch me do it. So it really didn't take that long, just a couple of minutes. And once you do it once, you do really get to know which bits are what. And I mean, just looking at the figure, you can tell which bits sort of form the outer circles and stuff of the figure. So it's really, really cool, really easy to do. So as you can see, this transforms into the gun, so this attaches underneath Megazord, and then you can just use it as his gun like that, so it just sits in his hand. The next bit I wanted to do with you guys is just this. So this is the belly piece, and it does transform into the shield, so you can hold it like so. And this is really, really cool. I love the design of this, and it literally just turns and bam, you've got yourself a nice shield. So that's really, really cool. And then there's a couple of ways you can have him hold it too. So you can either put it in his hand using this, or you can actually attach it to the wheels with this. So you could just sort of adjust your figure as you need to, and then it just clamps onto the wheel like that, and it does stay there. It's really good. So while it's in this mode, I'm going to hold the camera because when I have it sat there, you can't really see the face. So I'm just going to show you the cockpits and stuff quickly. So there's the detail on his face. And then when we lift that up, we do have the cockpit underneath, which has got all the Rangers inside there. If you don't want to use that and you want something a little bit more, you can lift this one up too. And then you can, again, see them inside there. I apologise if the lighting's not that great. Having a look at the detail on the figure as it is, he's got a nice little sort of belt piece, so that sits in there really nicely. Then having a look from the feet up, this is sort of half of a semicircle of the ship when it's in that sort of mode. And as we go up, we've got the nice red chrome, which has got some really good detail. And this is what I mean by the detail. There is literally bits everywhere, whether it's just something small like a little vent or whatever, even the bits that you can't see at the top there, so they've bothered to put little bits there. That's obviously in them two holes is where the ship would normally attach, the smaller ship would normally attach in. Then having a look at the back of the figure, there is a lot of plug holes and stuff and screw holes because this is the underneath of the ship, but even so, there's still detail everywhere. Having a look at some articulation while he's in this mode. I will start at the top and you'll have to excuse me if I miss anything out, but I will try my best. So his head is on a ball, so we get some wiggle, and he does look down quite a lot and up about as far as that goes. Obviously it moves around full 360. On the shoulders, we can pull those out, which is very similar to the Dragon Zord, and you can use that to be able to move the arms in and out. So that's obviously on both sides. Other than that, there is none on the top of the shoulders. The arms are on a ratchet and they do go all the way. We've got some hindered articulation in the elbow, so obviously these two bits here are going to clash once you get to a certain point, so that's about as far as they go on that. But they do rotate as well, so you can move the bottom part of the arm, so you can do whatever you want with the hands. The hands do a full 360 because they're on a ball, so you just pull them out to change them. He does have articulation in his midsection, and that's as far as it goes up, that's as far as it goes down, and then he does have swivel on the waist. To move the legs, you might need to just adjust some of this stuff here. So all these covers and stuff for the legs, you can obviously move. So they do move out and up and down, so you can adjust the legs to whatever you want. So you can have some sort of movement on the leg, but that's about as far as up as the leg goes. It does go down and back round to about there. So that's about all you'll get going that far back. The top of the leg does have swivel. Mine is stiff, as you can see, so I'm not going to risk that too much. And then got some articulation in the knee, and that's about as far back as that goes. And it goes back down to our normal state there. The feet are on a ball, and they do move around a little bit, but not a whole lot. This bit being flat at the bottom there is obviously going to hinder whatever you're doing, and mine's not great on that either. So if you're going to move the leg up, you can just push this middle bit back down, close that, but you can have that one fully down, and he can look like he's doing a bit of a run. If you can get him to stand. Yeah, there we go. He stands pretty well. Moving on to the comparison, obviously you can see here that the Astro Megazord is obviously quite a bit bigger than the Dino Megazord, even though mine is posed. I don't want to unpose him because he fits in my shelf quite well. Just looking at the legs, you can see that they are quite a bit thicker than the one on the Dino Megazord. And this does tend to hinder a little bit of articulation, so it's not as articulated as we would have liked. You can see the difference in the size of the heads and the hands, the sword, all that sort of stuff, so he does stand quite a bit taller. Then compared to the Dragon Zord, you can see he is quite a lot bigger, so he is nearly sort of twice the height that he is. These are meant to scale. If they were standing with each other in the show, this is how they should be. So obviously this one's meant to be quite a lot bigger than this one, and double the size of, or near enough of this one. So this is all the Zap stuff that we have so far. And hopefully we'll get some more soon. So they have leaked that we're going to be getting the White Tiger Zord. So that'd be really cool if we can start getting some more adding into this little collection. Moving on to my final thoughts of the figure. I've zoomed it in a little bit here just so you can see a bit more detail. And he does just fit on my turntable, luckily. So I will do the final thoughts on here. And I absolutely love this. The size of it is insane. Knowing that the size difference to this, to the Megazord and the Dragon Zord, is a really good idea. These don't fit in every shelves of my Detolf, so I've put it on the bottom for now. I've got loads of new shelving hopefully coming tomorrow where I'll be replacing all of the Detolfs, and it will all be displayed purely on this massive wall behind me. So these shelves should cover the whole wall. So I've got them just to accommodate for a bit more of my stuff. The articulation on the figure is pretty good, and it's good for what you'd expect because it is one Zord. So we have to bear in mind that it needs to come back together as a circle. So we are limited on what it can do. With the Dino Megazord, we was fortunate enough to have some smaller joints, and the fact that all the dinos went together. Don't get me wrong, I still think that that is very light and feels very cheap for the money, especially compared to this. But the difference in the price of that and this is quite high. It definitely feels like a solid item. I feel like it was worth the money and worth the wait for it, and I will definitely be getting some other bits that they're going to give us in the Zord Ascension project. They've put a lot of thought and design into this, and it's really, really paid off, as well as the design in the box looks really, really nice. Even if you was going to buy this and keep it boxed, it would make a great display piece inside the box. I did get this from Hasbro Pulse, and they are starting to ship in the UK now, so we're seeing it from Hasbro Pulse. Haven't seen it from anywhere else just yet, other than I think Comics and Cocktails are just getting them in, or they're just starting to ship them out. In the US, we're starting to see them all over the place, so that's really cool to see. And just to wrap up, I love the figure, very, very nice. The price on it is quite high for what you're getting, but you are getting a lot in this figure. So if you can wait and get it down to closer to the £100 mark or $100 mark, as close to that as you can, it's definitely worth picking up. That's about all I've got to say for this figure. If I've missed anything, I massively apologise, and I completely understand that everybody is going to have their own view. So just bear in mind that I didn't make this, it's something that I've bought. I have got some more coming in the week, so I will be putting out some more reviews next week. And if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. And if you want to see more, please subscribe to my little channel. And I hope you're all enjoying your weekend. That's it for me for now. Thank you. Bye.